Hey, this is Drew Clear, Libertarian channel. Just made this channel just because I'm now a libertarian, and I used to be a Republican, um, but I'm just disgusted with our nominees that we have. So recently, Donald Trump he had a speech yesterday in a suburb right outside of Milwaukee, and that's where um, hundreds of Black Lives Matter supporters are protesting and causing destruction and lighting up gas stations on fire, and it's a disaster. So Donald Trump gave a speech last night. It was around 10 o'clock Eastern time, and part of it was actually pretty good, but most of it, let's not kid ourselves, was basically everything he's been saying since about April or May, something like that. I was all for Trump um, up until the Republican National Convention. And I think the problem with Trump is he doesn't have any substance to him. Has some good ideas, but he doesn't know or say how he's going to fix them. One thing that he always says is we must repeal and replace Obamacare. Believe me. However he does it with his, I don't know. So, repeal Obamacare. I agree with that. Obamacare has been a complete disaster for a lot of families in the United States. And he says that he's going to replace it with something better. Something better. So, but he never, ever, ever says what that is. Why, like, first of all, why does government even need to be in healthcare? I mean, you look at what it's doing to a lot of these healthcare companies. A lot of these healthcare companies are getting out of Obamacare because they're just losing so much money on it. I think we need to repeal Obamacare and replace it with nothing. Just get rid of it. Government shouldn't be running healthcare whatsoever. So I'm just giving some examples. Donald Trump has no substance, and this is why I am now a Gary Johnson supporter, because Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both terrible, terrible candidates, and they do not have what it takes to be the president of this country. Okay. All illegal immigrants are going back, and they're going to come back legally after I build a multi-billion dollar wall. So, picture this. Correct me if I'm wrong, 9 million illegal immigrants are in this country right now. How are you going to send them back? How are you going to send them back? How are you going to get rid of them? First of all, how are you going to find out who they all are, round them all up, and send them back to Mexico or wherever they're coming from? And then once they get there, what do you do with them then? You just send them off back in their country? It makes no sense. It's illogical. 9 million. Picture Dallas Stadium. That stadium can hold 100,000 people. Times that by 90. What do you do with that amount of people? Just think of, I don't know, Wrigley Field. The amount of people that fit in Wrigley Field. I mean, just in those amount of people alone. You know, illegal immigrants are here to stay, but I think we should do something about it. And I think the more logical thing to do is to offer work visas, because basically they do the jobs that Americans are not willing to do. And the ones that were willing to do that were the great old millennials that are now a cancer to this country. Yeah, that's my generation. Yippee. Um, they're doing all the jobs that kids used to cut the grass, to make money. Kids used to shovel snow. Now it's all illegals. They do all the landscaping. And the kids just, sit back, they do nothing. It's not possible to send back illegal immigrants. These are only just a few things. Because Donald Trump has been saying the exact same thing since day one, and he never gives any substance or any ways to fix it. Personally, I probably wouldn't even become a libertarian if there was anybody out of the 17 Republicans. That just goes to show you how that freaking party's going. Nobody can get behind like 2 or 3 candidates to vote for. There's 17 or 18, whatever it was to start off with. You can get back behind like 2 or 3. There's the first problem with the Republican Party. They're both corrupt. However, the Democrats are more corrupt than Republicans, in my opinion. But yeah, Hillary Clinton, that's going to be in another video. And, he says how he wants to cut taxes, but at the same time build a wall and invest in education and, invest in the military, even though, let's face it, we have the biggest military in the world, bigger than the next 25 countries combined, all of which are allies. Basically, what we should have is a consumer tax. That way, nobody can milk the system. Whatever you buy, the tax is already on there. So I think get rid of all tax and just have consumer tax. That eliminates all under the table work. That means that nobody can get away with it. Nobody can get away with it. The real clear choice between this stupid, childish debacle of presidential candidates is simply a vote for Johnson and Weld. Donald Trump is not the answer. He has no substance. And Hillary Clinton is simply just a criminal. You need to vote for Johnson if you care about this country. And I think Johnson's poll numbers being at, 8 or 9%, just goes to show you how uninformed the American people are. So, I don't think you should vote for Donald Trump. He has no substance. Do you trust him? Do you trust him with our nuclear weapons? And how is he going to get all this stuff done when the Republicans aren't even backing him up, and the Democrats won't work with Republicans, and vice versa? They don't work together. So how's he going to get any of this stuff passed and done? We don't need to replace Obamacare. We just need to get rid of it. But again, how can you get rid of it? You can't compromise Congress and the president and them. I mean, unless he just does executive orders like Obama has done, I don't see how it's ever going to happen. So this is the Libertarian channel. I encourage you to vote for Gary Johnson and Bill Weld this fall, because quite frankly, Hillary Clinton's probably going to win anyway, because we have a lot of idiots in this country, a lot of idiots that don't know what they're doing. So this is Drew Cleary signing off. Stay tuned for more videos because I have more opinions.